did say I want to try to get to 85 for the 24 hours. It's up. Capital idea. Well, that's giving much to mull over. I feel as though we're one step closer to understanding the forum's little true motives. The mysteries of life itself, for good measure. Funny. It's funny, I came here with the intent of expressing my gratitude to leave more indebted than before. I have a feeling his friendship and support will be a great boon for us in days to come. Now, on that note, let's head back to the Enix. Perhaps on the way, you could better acquaint yourself with the scholars suggested while I share our findings. We aren't doing all that. We're not doing all that because, like I said, I really wanted to doing storyline stuff. No idea. More plot. Oh, it's 82, no wonder. More story. Welcome back. From what I hear, your trip to the stadium proved most educational. While you were away, I received word from our fellow Scions. As expected, news of the warning scales met with much joy. Preparations are now underway to bring the leadership of the Grand Company of Eorzea and the Eastrian Alliance together to determine the way forward. Our friends have asked that we bring the scales in our possession to Minsa. So the time has come for us to go on the offensive. It's too early to say for certain, but that does seem to be the way the winds are blowing. I, for one, can think of no reason to oppose such a plan. But let us see what awaits us at Philbrand. Let's start by getting the scales out of storage. Give me a hand, would you, Estinian? And they're gone. Oh, no, they're there. Didn't realize these crates were so heavy. I shouldn't complain though. Vidra and the alchemists of the great work put their heart and souls into each and every one of these scales. So you must treat them with the utmost care. Are you not coming with us? As much as I'd like to escape the forum's watchful gaze, I have little choice but to stay behind. We're always on thin ice, and if in my capacity as our official representative we're found to be sorting the quorum powers, well, you can imagine how that would go. I shall remain here, do my utmost voice to avoid ruffling any more feathers as I await word from Master Victoria and our other allies. Good luck, we'll soon have good news of our own to share. The tide is about to turn, I can feel it. To Limsa Naminta. It's been a long time since I've been to Limsa. Port quest. I mean, I did side quests there, but it's like the main story. emptiness. Age is crazy. I was told to expect you, as you may or may not be aware. The Admiral is at present entertaining the Elder Cedar and the Sultana. We are the most powerful women in the world in one room. You need a moment to prepare, or shall I? Oh, this. My apologies for calling you away from Charlian at such short notice. On the contrary, we are honored and grateful, and presently surprised to be joined by such esteemed company. It's only right that this discussion be conducted in person. We are locked in a war of attrition. Our forces struggle to contain the threat posed by the towers, and it is only a matter of time before we are overwhelmed. Victory will only be claimed through decisive action, and we have taken the initiative to set the wheels in. It is reassuring to learn. We are all in accord. But might I ask what your plan is here? It hinges entirely on the warning scales and our ability to utilize our potential to the fullest. During your time in Charlian, allied nations have been engaged on separate fronts, with no end in sight. To make matters worse, a surge in abduction of kobolds, Sangan, and have given rise to an increasing number of primals as well. But your trauma in Razahan has given us cause to hope once more. The time has come to free ourselves of this menace, and it is you, Scion of the Seventh Dawn, who have shown us the way. While the bulk of our forces will continue to hold the Lalafell at bay, we will dispatch our finest to strike at the enemy's heart. Garlemald. Those brave few will be the Isabar contingent. I think such progress has been made in so short a span. Its objectives are twofold. The first is to provide aid to the people of Garlemald. As previously reported, countless Imperial soldiers' decision has been tempered, robbed of their free will. They serve the Lalafell every whim without question. They too are victims. It is our duty to deliver them from suffering, not for strategic or political gain, but because it is the right thing to do. I do not ask that we set aside the decades of conflict, conquest. We simply choose to forgive and forget. I only ask that in choosing to remember, we do not also forsake our compassion and morality. For without that, there can be no reconciliation, only death without end. Aye, on that we can all agree. Our second objective is the colossal tower that Dagrid Oriandra reserved in the capital. Though its purpose remains unclear, there's reason to believe the smaller spires are merely of what's yet to come. Until the tower Azap was toppled, we failed to make any headway, though the same could be said for the other Lalafell. They're certainly in no rush to press further into our lands. I'd wager Spire's primary purpose purpose is to divide and keep us occupied while they work towards our annihilation. That would appear to be substantiated by Yostola's analysis of the tile's influence on ether current. Based on her observations inside the tower's spire, siphons ether from the land, consuming it to maintain their form. However, they draw for far more than is required for this task alone. The excess of ether remains unaccounted for, but be sure it is not be harnessed for our benefit. It wouldn't surprise me in the least if it's being redirected to a larger spire in the capital. There's a logic to that. Regardless, once we have uncovered the truth, we'll bring their schemes crashing down along with their infernal towers. All well and good. But what would you have us do? I assume more than handing over the scales and being on our way. We want you and your scales to join the Isabar contingent. Considering an official request from both the Grand Company of Eorzea and the Eastern Alliance, you accept? Perhaps you should be the one to answer that. Couldn't have put it better myself. Stoller, Franklin, and Oriander has already pledged their support and are on their way to meet the rest of the contingent. They were positive you would come to the same decision as they did. Luckily for all involved, their prediction was correct. Once you have delivered the warning scales to Alamigo, the contingent will embark on its journey to Isabar. Raban and Lord Emmerich are overseeing preparations, so I just you make yourselves known upon arrival. Pack warm clothing, furs and the like. Without it, the cold will do you in. For the Teloporoi, so much as raw steel. As for us, we will keep the enemy busy while you're gone. They're not the only ones who could create a diversion. Now go, safe in the knowledge. Eorzea will be as you left it, or better upon your return. Stop, let me go. It's Alamigo time. Sorry, I had to. I just wanted that. What? What's happening? Oh, the Wanderers return. You've been busy bringing down a tower and producing the keys to destroying the rest of them. You should be proud. Those wondrous scales of yours are what made this whole venture possible. Will you and Lord Emmerich be leading the contingent? Incredibly no. Our role is to organize the various delegations into a cohesive unit. Once we have seen you all off, it's back to our respective posts. We dare not neglect our duties for too long. These our defensive efforts fall into disarray. Just between us, there was a fair amount of opposition to the formation of the Isabar contingent. The very suggestion that we send some of our finest troops behind enemy lines to render aid upon it has made me rather unpopular in certain quarters. Yeah, please them all. Sadly, no. Sadly not. Though I do my best, truth be told, I'd much rather be at your side. Charging into the fray, unless I've battles of my own to fight. Where words may serve me better than any blade. I hate to say it, but Lord Emmerich's struggles mirror my own. For the time being, the best we could offer you is a peace of mind from knowing Erosia is in safe hands. As you fight the good fight in Isbar, and the other commanders will do what I and the other commanders will do what we can to convince the naysayers that our cause is just. Meet again. Gaius! Much has occurred since we parted ways in Waylet. From what I gather, the protective palaces you attained led to the formation of this exponentially source. My contribution to this occasion is but a minor one, that being the information I have shared with Maxima. For the sake of the people of Golemar, may the fates be on your side. You're not coming with us? Strange. I thought you'd have a stake in this. I do. Lalafell had laid waste to my homeland and enslaved my people. But though every more of my being cries for vengeance, I cannot be the one to deliver it. My presence alone would place the entire mission in jeopardy. I stand accused of murdering Emperor Varus and plunging Golemar into chaos. Were I to travel with the contingents, it would give my countrymen ample cause to question our motives. Conversely, those who believe my innocent may instead celebrate the return of a former legislative and attempt to raise me to the position of leadership, further destabilizing the region and complicating the contingent's mission. Whether I am branded a villain or hailed as a hero, I would only hinder your effort. We will deliver. For what it is worth, you have my gratitude. You and your comrades have the strength and courage to deliver my countrymen. I'm certain of it. In light of Gaius' rather unique circumstances, I instead will assume the role of your guide. Though I may have defected for political reasons, my love of Golemar endures. I would stop at nothing to protect her and her people. Well said. Might I ask you to escort our friends inside? You might even bump into an old acquaintance or two. If I don't see you again, hear your heart. May the Fury guide and protect you, all of you. We going to a new area? Ooh, what's that? Oh, we're getting something new. The other members of the Isabar contingent are gathered in the royal palace. I shall inform them of your arrival, so please make your way inside as soon as you are ready. Regardless of how my country receive you, the cold will not treat you kindly. Ah, the remaining members of the Scion, your friends and most of the Isabar contingent. Yes. Let us in.
By the 12.
Oh my goodness.
Glad you could join us. I hope you don't mind, but we went ahead and started without you.
As you can imagine, our traveling companions were eager to become acquainted. 'Tis a rare thing indeed to see such a diverse and talented group of individuals assembled for a single purpose. We fight not only for the sake of Eorzea, but for the entire world, including the people of Garlemald. Much rides on the efforts of the Ilsabard contingent.
Indeed, which is why I am glad to find myself in the company of many trusted comrades, yourselves included.
Hey! Lucia.
Lucia!
I have come at the behest of Lord Emmerich, who has honored me with the role of Ishgard's representative. And for the good of all nations, not least my former homeland, I am determined to see this mission through to its end. We have a hard road ahead of us, but walk it we shall, together.
We too welcome this opportunity to work together once more. I have faith that, if there is a way to resolve this conflict, we will find it.
Allow me to introduce you to the rest of our company. Everyone! If I may have your attention.
Hey! We're bringing all the mages and everything with us. Dark.
Might I ask you to speak first?
I'm starting to see why they said to do every job quest now.
If I must. I am Arun Senna, spokesman for the Gridanian delegation, here on behalf of my esteemed sister, the Elder Seedseer. We shall provide support and protection to those in need during our time in Garlemald. To that end, I am joined by healers selected by the Conjurers Guild, with the Order of the Twin Adder's Finest serving as our escort.
Suppose I'd better say my piece.
Wait, I know you.
The name's Sicard, in case you've forgotten. Truth be told, I'd rather you had forgotten. Any road, the Admiral asked Captain Hillfear to send his best, and for whatever reason, he picked me. Of course, if I'd refused, I'd be the laughingstock of the bloody executioners, and my reputation's taken enough of a keyhauling as it is. But more importantly, like any pirate worth his salt, I know when you're staring down a storm, you gotta trust in the commander of your ship. So if the Admiral wants us to go to Garlemald, not for plunder and glory, but a promise of peace in our time, then that's what we'll do. Since we all know how much the Empire loves its steel, we thought we'd bring along a few smiths to make the most of it. Give them a pile of scrap and they'll cobble together anything you fancy. Of course, just like the Gridanians, we got fighters of our own. We might have come with a more constructive purpose in mind, but we're more than capable of cracking skulls, believe you me.
Well, you're certainly raring to go. But then again, so are we. The most dependable warriors of Uldar and Alamigo have assembled at the Sultana and General Aldin's behest. If Garlemald has truly fallen, then the whole place is likely to be crawling with Telophoroi. We'll need plenty of troops to clear and hold a path for others to follow. That's where we come in. Naturally, Marshal Tarapin and I will be leading from the front.
It's been some time since I last saw you in your element on the battlefield.
From what I've heard, you've become pretty fearsome yourself. Master Matoya, the Avatar of Destruction.
What was that last one? What was that
With
other one?
comrades like these, I know we'll succeed, no matter what awaits us. And then we might finally get a chance to enjoy a good long rest. But until then, let's give it our all.
As for Ishgard, we Temple Knights have come in force to uphold our nation's commitment to the peace and welfare of our allies. The bitter cold of Garlemald is a formidable enemy in of itself. Our experience fighting in ice and snow will prove invaluable in the days ahead. Accordingly, I have been designated commander of the Ilzabad contingent. I will do all in my power to provide you with the leadership and guidance you require. The four high houses, House Hylinart foremost among them, have arranged for a host of machinists to join us on our mission. Their knowledge of Imperial Magitech is sure to be a great boon. They will address any problems of a technical nature, together with the smiths of Limpsa Lomitsa. There is another awaiting introduction.
Lord Emanolain!
Ah, yes. Emanolain de Forton, at your service. Though, lest there be any misunderstanding, I should stress that I've not become a fearsome warrior while you were away. Rather, far from it, actually. My brother, in his infinite wisdom, decided this would be an excellent chance to make something of myself. Oh, and fight for world peace and all that. But, should the opportunity arise for a spot of ballroom dancing,
Oh my
I will
God.
be your twinkle-toed gentleman of light.
May your graceful prancing lead the way to victory.
Huzzah! I cannot wait to regale Honoroi with my tales of daring do.
I believe that concludes introductions for the Grand Company of Eorzea. Our allies from the Eastern Alliance were due to arrive some time ago, but it would appear they have been delayed.
Would that be the shinobi of Doma?
Actually, they've been tasked with relaying messages back and forth between the various Eastern nations. According to Lord Hien, however, an equally capable company of warriors has been sent in their stead.
Out of my way, you preening fool!
Oh God.
Forgive us for coming late. We are the delegates of the Eastern Alliance.
Cyrena, and you've brought company.
For battle and blood we come, as a step is sorely lacking in both. No towers befoul our lands, so we marched on those of Doma, only to find them beyond our reach. But now our thirst for slaughter will be slaked. No quarter to the enemy!
Sadu Hatun, no. We go to make peace with the Iron Men, not war.
Warriors of the Steppe, we've heard many tales of your bravery. We welcome you as allies. And these other ones you have brought are...
Members of the Dalmascan resistance group, Lente's Tears.
And the Bosnian resistance. Between them, they have a wealth of experience in espionage, and are particularly adept at infiltrating Imperial facilities. Which is fortuitous, since Garlemald's domain is so vast that I could never hope to handle reconnaissance duties all by myself.
Dalmasca, Bosnia, Alamigo. All lands which have suffered the tyranny of the Empire. I would never presume to question your motives. Nevertheless, I must reiterate that our goal is to aid the victims of the Telophoroi, the common folk of Garlemald. And they are victims, make no mistake. Though I understand that many may struggle to see them as such.
You're more right than you know. For every one of us that answered the call, there were a dozen that refused. Not only in Alamigo, but everywhere we went. And who could blame them? The Empire's always been the enemy. But after seeing what we've seen, fighting and working against and with Garleans, there's no denying the simple truth. They're just people. No different from you or I. They've got their share of liars and murderers, but so do we. So do we all. Fordola, who once swore herself to Garlemald, has proven herself a trusted ally time and time again. Every Eorzean here knows Cid Garland, the Imperial defector who shared with us countless technological wonders. Gaius bloody Baelsar himself is working to help rebuild Werlid, a nation he once conquered. So you can believe me when I say that every fighter here understands and accepts that the Imperials are not monsters and are deserving of help. Or at least that they were able to put aside their feelings for the greater good. It won't be easy, but we're all determined to make this world a better place.
What lingering concerns I may have had were clearly unwarranted. I agree with everything you said wholeheartedly.
Then we are in accord. Now, let us review our strategy. To reach the Garlean capital in northern Ilsabard, we must cross the central mountain range. Fortunately, Garlond Ironworks can provide aerial transport, sparing us this most treacherous part of our journey. However, attempting to fly any closer to Garlemald would attract the attention of the Telophoroi. As they appear to have seized control of the majority of the Imperial military, we must assume that includes its fleet. In addition, Garlemald possesses devices that can interfere with airship navigational systems, further discouraging an airborne approach.
Given the circumstances, the closest we dare deploy our contingent is an area between the range and the capital, the Magna Glacies. From there, we must travel the rest of the way on foot. We will also need to bring the airships with us to ensure we can withdraw with haste. Although much of the terrain will be blanketed in snow, we should be able to make use of local roads and shipping facilities. The vast ice field will afford us an unobstructed view of the surrounding area. On the other hand, it will also allow others to easily spot us, so it is imperative that we only make camp in positions where we can easily defend ourselves. And the airships, which must be kept safe at all costs.
We cannot account for every possibility, so we must be prepared to think on our feet. We will be tested. Sorely tested, I expect. But for our homes and for our people, and a people not our own but in need, we will succeed. Spare no effort in your preparations. Once we depart, there is no turning back.
Besides the delegates assembled here, Yamanja and several other tribes offered to send troops of their own. Unfortunately, due to their physicality, many would struggle simply to survive in the harsh climate of Isabar. They would also likely prove tempering targets for abduction by Lalafell. All things considered, they could better aid the cause by bolstering our defenses in Erosia, though there is to do more has been noted. We few shall have to suffice. Ere we embark, we must distribute the warning scales to our comrades. Care to do the honors? Oh, these are the famed warning scales. Enough. My men, I see. Under normal circumstances, I would not be allowed to travel outside the Twelveswood. The Elderseer, however, has granted me special permission. They bid me lend my magics to the people of Garlemar while learning all I can of their ways. In doing so, I will come closer to understanding myself and my place in the world. I say, it is past time our allies benefited from the power at the sea disposal. Some be more that we hide our light under a bushel. I intend to address that. Okay. Them scales everybody's been talking about pretty old things, aren't they? Reckon they'll be worth a gill or two when this is all over, but we'll hold on to them for now. And one more thing. I know you're all thinking, why don't they send? We're gonna find out. All the Admiral Captain. They needed someone to help safeguard the future, and here I am. Can't say I haven't got a sense of humor. Some of you might be wondering what kind of pirate is on dry land in the middle of a... Oh, none of us were thinking that. We're just wondering. Wow, look at these. Even a layman like me can tell they're bursting with ether. All the better to fend off the tempering waves. Is that the right term? Anyway, these will give us one less thing to worry about. Which just leaves the other mountain of whatever else is waiting. Only one way to find out. And nervous or not, I'd march through all 7 hells if it gave me a chance to put Zeno back in the grave where he belongs. Warning scales. I'd take it. Thanks. These talismans may prove to be the deciding factor in the battles to come. I find myself conflicted by this foray into Garlemar, set by the Empire to infiltrate Isgar, wanting to throw in my lot with those whose secrets I was supposed to be stealing. Now I lead a mission to save the countrymen I betrayed. But that is doubtless why I was chosen by Lord Emmer. He would have me put my extensive knowledge and former ties to good use. For the future of Ishgard, Garlemar, and the world at large. Doing this. We heard it would be cold in Guillemot, so we came prepared. Oh, the talismans. We are to keep these close at all times. Yes, I will see that no one misplaces ours. And before I forget, message for Hien. In distant lands and times of strife, together stand, together fight. In darkness shines the light of life. I hope I've done his words justice, Doma. Much like the of Othra, or Orthro, has been plagued by the towers. Yet while he could not be here, he wished to express his shared conviction. Hien and Yogiri labor without rest to unite the people, and with their aid will we keep the enemy at bay. And we of the Steppe and the Eastern Alliance will repay their effort by ending this war. Wow. Often has father told me of the struggles faced by the enemy. Has long been our bitter enemy. Her Grace has elected to bolster Hey. We would follow your example and devastate the Lalafell with the full extent of our powers. Not for your brothers. We will return soon enough. I found you. I'm so glad I found you. That your fist shall bring the Lalafell to their knees. Should you... Well, maidens there. God. Yeah. This is a character from the fighting... From the monk quest line. This is Black Mage. Wait, I've seen that name before. Ancient Nim. Yeah, I think if I did a wait. I'm surprised the Dark Knight is not here. We didn't recruit the Dark Knight? The Mall. Champions of the Esteem and liberating Boj. Me and my countrymen owe you more than we could ever hope to pay. Now that our dream is finally realized. That's why we were always told to do side quests and stuff. But will it be enough? Do I have a warning score scale for me too? Oh. Thank you for this. For going to such incredible lengths for the faithful by people. Though I have little offer in return, I would impart some advice if I may. You've been told by many to wear the core of Visibar, and I cannot stress this, that this is no token warning. I will be distributing, especially in May warming, Enix courtesy of the Alchemist Guild, but understand that they are no substitute for proper protection. I leave the provisions said protection of your discretion. Now let us... you make your final preparations. I will have the pilots ready the airships. My goodness. This is our last chance to make ready before we set forth. You need to worry about Ariane or we still have what we wore in Galamon's war. Estinian claims to be quite warm and toasty because of our... He spends a fair bit of time up north recently as well. I have no reason to doubt his words. Most of the others will be borrowing Grand Company stock. The rest of you could do likewise. Provided you are not overly concerned with style. Not to put a point on it, but I wouldn't see Zed in one of those ridiculous overcoats. If only I had time to find something in my life. Is that the cry of scions and the need of a tailor I hear? Oh? Why are we standing in the rain? That seems weird now. But how? I have my ways. Oh yes, indeed. You thought you could sneak off to Isabar without telling me. Nothing escapes my notice. It's too talk though. Now you will wear these garments I have made for you, whether you like it or not. Well, except for me, I'm fine with it. Never ceases to amaze. Why need a new outfit as well? Wait, are you coming with us? What? No, of course not, silly. It's all in the name of fashion, rather the pursuit of the highest quality fashion. Besides, how can I expect others to wear my creation? I have never worn them myself. I did have one other thing to share. From assignments in faraway lands, you'll be staying at the Rising Stone for a while to keep an eye on events throughout the Rosia. Could still be running things back at headquarters. I was wondering if I could lend a hand and probably. Well, why not? Keep crowd company at the in the Baldessian Annex. We'd love to have you there. I heard carrying out in our stead while lying comatose. Them in charge of the Rising Stone. Nothing to worry about. Thoughts exactly. My thoughts exactly. Also, why I'm confident you won't go collapse again, because a certain someone who shall remain nameless is in a position to transport your souls to another world. If anything similar, disastrous were to happen, I'll be well positioned to do something about it. Anyway, I've got a few things to take care of, and then I'll make my way to Shrine. I do hope these new clothes are enough to keep you warm in Galamar. Not much, but it's the only thing I can do for you, other than pray for your safe return, which I will. Yeah. Let's not keep the contingent waiting any longer. Markin. Here are your winter woolies, handcrafted by yours truly. I don't need any clothes. What are you talking about? What? No. Oh. Okay, it does look pretty cool, but I'm still gonna wear my outfit. A frosty reception. I'm told the airship pilot has been sent to meet you. Ah, there he is. Oh. Alright, this is where we go our separate ways. You'll be careful, won't you? Wait a sec, this is... It is an honor to finally meet you. We are the Gondola Ironworks. We'll be ferrying you and your contingent across the mountains. For many of us, it'll be something of a homecoming. Our Lucius founder was only our most notable imperial defector. For that reason, the company is committed to the success of the expedition. Our resources are at your disposal. If there is not, we might opt to do you further assistance. They're ready. Upon boarding, you have several conflicts with playing securities ready to set aside significant. Participate in battle. Your progress will be saved at certain points, and you'll be able to try again from emotion. Please note that if you enter battle associated with other quests or log out, this progress will be lost. Oh no.